The most dangerous thing about caring too much is that eventually you stop feeling the weight. You just think you're tired. You think you're lazy. You think just something is wrong with you. You were never weak. You're just carrying a jar that was never meant to be this full. A single stone is nothing. You can hold it all day, so you pick up another one, and eventually you forget what it felt like to have empty hands. That's how people break. Not because one impossible thing, just because they keep saying it's only one more thing, one more responsibility, one more goal, one more thing I need to fix about myself, one more reason I shouldn't be satisfied yet. We spend our entire lives filling the jar, and then we wonder why it's so heavy. Think how strange we are. We are the only creatures that can sit in a quiet room and somehow feel uncomfortable. A dog takes a piece everywhere and it's alright. You need a phone, a podcast, music, a video playing in the background, something, anything. Because silence forces you to hear the thoughts you don't want to hear. We fill every empty space, our schedules, our rooms, our minds. We collect achievements like they are proof that we mean something. More money, more followers, more knowledge, more productivity. Eventually you find yourself with a morning routine so complicated that waking up feels like fucking preparing to become the next Buddha or some shit. Drink water, meditate, journal, cold shower, read 20 pages, open the third eye before breakfast. And on the other side, you're still trying to remember where you left your keys, man. And then there are things you refuse to put down. Old mistakes, old conversations, things that happened 10 years ago that nobody else remembers. But somehow you replay every night like it is like a fucking Instagram reel. That's the strange thing about suffering. Most of the time, it isn't one huge trouble. It's 1,000 of small ones. A bad habit, a fear, a regret, a comparison, a thought you keep feeding. And every day you add another stone. Until one day you wake up and even small things feel impossible. Replying to a message, making a decision, getting out of bed. Not because the thing is heavy, because you've been carrying everything else with it. I think one of the biggest traps today is believing you're always a project that needs fixing. You are tired? Optimize your sleep. You're unhappy? Build a new routine. You feel lost? Buy another book. And those things help, but sometimes you're not missing another answer, you're carrying too many questions. Self-improvement can become another way of avoiding yourself. Because if you're always becoming someone, you never have to face who you really are. Another attempt, another failure, another lesson. But maybe the goal was never to become someone who never falls. Maybe the goal was becoming someone who can fall and still stand back up. Emptying the jar doesn't mean giving up. It means finally asking, why am I carrying all this? Do I actually want all this? Or did I just pick it up because everyone else was holding one? Maybe you don't need more motivation. Maybe you need less noise, less comparison, less pretending, less trying to impress people who are too busy worrying about themselves. Which is actually good news, man. Because the imaginary crowd judging you probably has terrible attention span anyways. An empty jar is not useless. That's what we forget. We think empty means broken, but empty means there is room. Room for something new, room for something real. When you stop forcing everything into your life, something strange happens. Life starts entering by itself, like water finding a crack in a stone. Like a player who dies 100 times and finally realizing the real progress was not the boss health bar, it was everything they learned between each attempt. Stuff the jar too much and it won't close. It might crack. It grows heavy. Empty the jar and everything finds its way in. It weighs almost nothing. When the jar is empty, you can see through it. Maybe that's the closest you will get to seeing yourself. Probably you spend your entire life trying to become someone, accumulating, chasing, fighting, surviving, but maybe the person you've been looking for was never buried under a lack of something. Maybe the way to yourself is not filling the jar, maybe it's emptying it.